G'day, buddy forever. So, hi mate, what does it take to have an animal sanctuary? Do you mind elaborating on the process of owning one? I'm going to cover this off because this is a great question and no one's really asked me. Don't know, I set up an animal sanctuary with my partner Anna 3 years ago now up in far north Queensland. The backstory was we're originally on the northern beaches of Sydney. We never really connected with the city. We always wanted to be on the land, and we spent a year travelling around Australia in a troop carrier with our 2 dogs, which turned into 3 dogs, looking for our dream home. Now we thought we were going to end up on the mid-north coast or the Hunter Valley region, but as we were going around Australia, we just didn't really find the property that ticked all of the boxes. Found ourselves in North Queensland, had never even been here before, and absolutely fell in love with the tropics. And we found our dream home and we purchased it. That is in a World Heritage rainforest. We've got 70 acres, but we're surrounded by about 5,000 acres of World Heritage rainforest that is private. Nobody can access it except the locals. And we are surrounded by amazing wildlife every single day. And we've managed to rescue over 100 animals. So our sanctuary consists of cows, pigs, alpacas, and lots of different birds. We've got peacocks, guinea fowls, turkeys, chickens, ducks, geese, you name it, we've got it. And we've also now got 4 dogs, 3 of which are rescues. Now, it's always been my lifelong dream to originally be a vet, but didn't get the grades, didn't get into veterinary science, but I think it was a blessing because I feel that as a vet, you are sometimes put into positions where you can't actually decide the quality of care that the animals that you are treating are getting. It ultimately comes down to the decision of the owners of those animals. And now that I have an animal sanctuary and I own all of the animals, or I have the privilege of having the animals live on my property, I can provide the standard of care that I want, and I can fully self-fund that, and essentially I don't need to worry about somebody else's values or how they choose to care for their animals. So I feel that I get all of the best parts of being a vet by being an animal sanctuary owner. So there's a few things that you need. Now, one, obviously, you need the property. So we have 70 acres. We've spent tens of thousands of dollars on infrastructure, new fencing, shelters, water, other infrastructure that we need in order to provide a safe and secure environment for all of our animals. For example, our latest acquisition was 3 alpacas that were rehomed from a property down south from an amazing breeder. And we spent about $5,000 on the shelter. We've spent probably about the same on new fencing and other infrastructure. And we've got an alpaca that's actually sick at the moment. We've got a vet on their way here. Literally in the last week, we've spent $3,000 on treatment for this animal. So that's the second thing. You need the financial resources to not just acquire the animals. A lot of the animals that we've got have been rehomed. They haven't come at a cost, a direct cost anyway, but the cost of ongoing care and providing for them, specifically in circumstances where the animals are sick, can cost thousands. We've spent tens of thousands of dollars on care for our animals. It probably costs us a couple $100 a week in terms of feed. But then there's obviously all of the other upkeep in terms of vet checks, medications. We've got animals that are special needs. So you need to be able to keep that up. And essentially you need to be in a financial position to provide that care because it is expensive. Case in point, we had a vet out on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Those 2 visits cost us $1,600. So that's probably the biggest factor. And I think most importantly, you've got to have the value system. You've got to have the principles to be able to love and care for these animals. It's very demanding. We're here every single day. We're very fortunate that I've got a very successful business, that I have the ability to work from home. I typically only work about 4 days a week, and I've got complete freedom and flexibility around my time. So it's about being able to get up in the morning and feed the animals and let them out and do the kind of things there. That probably takes about 30 minutes. Time during the day to go and check on them. And obviously you want to spend time with them as well. And then the evening routine. But probably the biggest thing that I thought was going to be a lot easier is that it is very difficult to get good help from people who share your values. Lots of people profess to love animals, but you need to have a really keen eye and you almost need to be paranoid to be looking out for the animals and noticing these little signs of changes of behavior, because we've come to find that animals are very, very good at hiding illness, particularly prey animals. When they show illness in the wild, they are preyed upon, right? So they are very, very good at disguising this. And there's very small nuances in behavior that can mean the difference between spotting and getting treatment to that animal before it gets bad and potentially a death because you just didn't observe the behavior. For example, we had an alpaca, they're the latest edition, where been here for a month. And one of our alpacas, Gilly, gorged himself. We gave him food. He was looking a little bit underweight compared to the other two. We gave him 10 minutes to eat on his own. He choked. Then we had to get a vet out to intubate him to clear the blockage. That was super traumatic. And then he basically hasn't been getting up. He's really weak. We can't really identify what the issue is. The vet's coming out now to take blood samples and potentially to do a water flush to try and clear any potential intestinal blockages that he's got. This has been 4 days now of just nerve-wracking in the shed, getting up every 2 hours to go and get him up, providing him food and water by mouth. Just the sounds that he makes are just heartbreaking. You've got to be a special kind of person to endure this, because it's not all sunshine and lollipops. There is death. There's things that happen that are completely outside of your control, and it can feel horrible. But in all of the times that's amazing, it far outweighs all of the difficulties. However, try to find somebody who can come and support you, give you time off the property. It is very, very nerve-wracking because people just don't have that attention to detail. And frankly, a lot of people just don't care as much as we do. So we don't get a lot of time. Anna and I haven't been off the property in 3 years together in terms of going away for a holiday or anything like that. We're very fortunate that we're very independent. So I travel overseas by myself. Anna does the same. And we're happy with that. That works for us until such a time as we can find the right support who can basically live on the property with us, can learn the processes, can learn the behavior of the animals, and we can have the confidence to know that we can go away and that they are in safe hands. So that is life running an animal sanctuary. If you've got any other questions, feel free to let me know. Hope this has been valuable. And look, I guess the last point is that my business and my career is a vehicle to create my dream life. And I'm very fortunate that I have been able to create my dream life, and I've been able to create financial freedom and bring this to life in my mid-30s. So the important part is about getting really clear and defining your goals, reverse engineering that into a plan to be able to get there, and ultimately walk in the path. And I guess this is living proof that you can create the dream life that you want if you commit yourself